Let's pretend a national emergency was just declared. And you have to be able to survive 72 hours in your vehicle. Could you do it? Or would you struggle?
Help me!
Well, in this video, we're going to talk about just that very thing. And hopefully, I can help you be better prepared. Now, we've all seen those 72-hour kits that are just the bare minimum. That's not what we're going for today. I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive, I want to be comfortable, and I want to live the best life I can during those 3 days. So we're going to put everything we can into this kit. If it fits in the vehicle and I feel like I want it, then it's going in there. This is going to include things you should keep in your vehicle at all times, not just for emergencies. An extra jug of oil, windshield washer fluid, a jack, spare tire, the tools to operate on your vehicle, plus all the things you need to not only survive, but to be comfortable during those 72 hours. So the first thing we're going to need is our vehicle. Now, I'll be using my SUV because that's what I have. So if you have a truck or a car, you might find other methods to do things that suit your needs better. Alright, so I guess the first thing we should talk about is shelter. Depending on the vehicle you have, you may or may not be able to just use your car for shelter. I have an SUV, and even though I'm a pretty tall guy, there's plenty of room inside of it for me to sleep comfortably. You can sleep either of the front seats, although the steering wheel might be in the way, or you can lay down in the back seat as well. But if you have a smaller vehicle, you might consider putting a tent or some other sort of shelter in your vehicle that you can set up on the ground next to your vehicle so you can sleep more comfortably. Because there's nothing worse than getting a bad night's rest, especially in emergency situations. So the ultimate goal would be to find a nice area that's private, that not many people know about, that you could go park your vehicle and just set up your camp right there. Now, I know that's not always possible, but the good thing about being in a vehicle is you can just move. The reality is you never know when something like this could happen, and you might not have any time to prepare. So you always want to keep your vehicle full of fuel and running to the best of its ability as much as you can. So that being said, we can take a look inside of the vehicle and see what kind of setup I have for the 72-hour scenario. Before you ever start loading anything in your vehicle, the first thing you should do, make sure you have your jack, a way to raise and lower the jack, and make sure your spare tire is good. In my vehicle, there's a bunch of extra storage right here that you could utilize. Just be mindful that you're going to have a lot of gear. Well, in my case, I'm going to have a bunch of gear in the back of my SUV. So anything you put down in there, make sure it's something that you won't be needing frequently. Because the last thing you want is to be unloading and loading this stuff every time you need something down below. Alright, we're going to start up here in the front seat with my boy Bear. Because you can't forget about your furry friends. He's got a little dog bed right here. I got him a leash so we can tie him off. A couple bowls for food and water. A bag of dog food. And a bag of treats. And up here I have my laptop as well. Assuming we still have cellular service, I can use my phone as a hotspot and access the internet to keep myself entertained. And right here I have a notepad with a pen and pencil to scribble anything down, as well as a map of my area. Alright, then coming to the back seat, here I have a regular little throw blanket, and actually I have a heated blanket that I can plug in case of cool nights. Or it might even be wintertime or something like that. So an electric blanket is something probably a lot of people overlook. Right here I have a folding table. This will be mainly to cook on because I don't want to get stuff all over my car. And I have an extra folding chair in case I don't want to sit in the car all the time. And I have solar panels for our Anker Solix S2000. You can easily set your solar panels up on top of your roof, but be mindful you could scratch your roof, so if you put a blanket down or something to protect it, that'd be great. And of course I would be sleeping back here probably, or laying up here. And this cover here is to protect the seats from the dog, so he can hang out back here as well. While I didn't pack any for this demonstration, right here would be a perfect spot to store additional clothing that you may need during that 72 hours. Alright, now we're going to take a look at what's in the back. Alright, like I said, if it fits and I want it, I'm bringing it. So I got a lot of stuff back here. We'll start off with a brief overview of everything. We have our power station here, our electric cooler slash refrigerator freezer, electric kettle. Right there in the corner is a emergency weather radio. Inside this container I have foods. I have a bunch of water, power cables, and extension cord. Also a backpack. The backpack is just in case you need to load some stuff up and leave your vehicle, so you can take some gear with you. And in this tote I have all your normal vehicle stuff, oil, fluids, windshield washer fluid, a tire inflator, a battery boost pack, things like that. I have a gas can here with fuel, a roll of paper towels. In here is all my survival supplies. Here is a toolbox with normal vehicle maintenance tools, and I have an induction cooker and an air fryer. And of course I have a roll of toilet paper. And over here in this compartment I have a power inverter. This can be hooked to the battery to make a cigarette lighter if needed. An emergency light that's magnetic. A trash bag. An extra little bag here just for storing things. And some gloves. Heavy duty leather gloves. But that stuff stays in the vehicle all the time. But inside of my cooler I have some plates and some bowls. A stainless steel pan for my induction cooker. And some utensils to cook with, as well as the charging cables for both DC and AC for the cooler. I'm not going to extensively go over everything or else it'll be a really long video, but we'll cover a few things, like the types of food to bring. Now I do have this refrigerator slash freezer, so I could bring a lot of different things. As soon as something happened and I knew I had to leave, I would go ahead and get this thing pre-cooled in the house before moving it in here and plug it in. So that way it uses a lot less energy. Number one, you're going to want some utensils. So I have 2 sets, knives, forks, and spoons, as well as a fillet knife and a towel. Now the type of food you want to bring obviously depends on your diet and your needs, but everything should be easy to make. For example, applesauce, you just eat it. Peanut butter, you just eat it. Some chips you can snack on. I have some Slim Jims in there, some tuna, and we have some canned items too. If you're going to bring canned food, make sure it's the kind you can just open like that. No can opener needed. And also there's some ramen noodles and canned chicken down there as well. And some crackers. So none of this food really needs even cooked, just warmed up, other than the ramen noodles. But we can just easily boil water with our electric kettle and put it in a bowl, and in a few minutes it'll be done and ready to eat. So everybody could get by with normal foods like this that don't need refrigeration and that are easy to cook. But if you do have the capabilities to bring a refrigerator, then obviously your food will change. You could bring meats, eggs, cheese, all that different stuff. But that's something for you to consider. But everything else here is pretty obvious. But we will check out the little survival kit I put together. Alright, so let's check out what's in my survival kit. Right here I have a first aid kit, of course an axe, there's some gloves, a knife sharpener, a folding saw, a fixed blade knife here, a lantern. These lanterns are great, hybrid light, it's rechargeable and solar. Some playing cards just to kill some time, a multi-tool, a water filter, some heavy duty rope, a full fire kit. In this pouch I keep the charging cables for all my devices, like this flashlight and boost pack here. Here's a rain poncho that can double as a shelter. I also have some AA rechargeable batteries and a charger, an extra water bottle, And in case I can't cook anymore using my Anker power station, I have a solo stove. But that's the contents of the survival kit I packed. Honestly, these items mostly won't be needed. These are just in case, worst case scenario. That's what this box is for. And it's in a nice sturdy box, so it keeps everything nice and protected. Alright, so that's everything that I keep in my kit. I'm sure I forgot some things or overlooked them. I mean, that's human nature. We can't all be perfect. But we can all help each other out by leaving comments down in the comment section on things that I might have overlooked. But as always, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, be sure to hit like and subscribe. I surely would appreciate it. But we'll see you on the next one.